Well, howdy, folks. It's Brian, and welcome back to BG Model Workshop, where we are doing a final on the USACC build. This is a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner from Revell / Monogram, because it's all homogenous now. But yeah, we had gotten a GTX kit originally, a Monogram kit. It was the one that was molded in blue. That came to us squished with a squished roof. The plastic was very, very brittle, so we weren't sure we were going to be able to do it. So instead of fighting with that, we thought, well, we'll just set it aside. And then in swooped our hero, Mr. Orrin Jacobs from Space Cadet Models, and he saved us with a gift of a kit, and we were able to use that to actually build this car, because I was just so heartbroken at the beginning of everything that it was literally dead in the box. It was like, oh, I guess I'm not participating this time. But Mr. Orrin Jacobs swooped in and helped us out, and we are eternally grateful for that. So thank you, Orrin, for the help out on that there, dude. While we're saying thank yous, let's also thank Mr. Chris Rode. He's a Mafia car member, and he is also a good friend of ours. And he gifted us a brake booster. Let's see here. We also have some tires from the collection of Mr. John Weber. He only has like five parts in his parts stash. And now I think he only has one, since we have 4 of his tires. But he doesn't even remember what those tires came on. He's like, I don't know where these came from. So, here, you can have them. I'm like, and I was looking at this guy here. I'm like, oh, the white the white lettered tires on that gloss black. Yeah, that's happening. That's going to happen. And then, of course, we want to thank Joel over at Iceman Collections for some parts that we got from him. And then let's see here. We're going to move on to, oh yes, the battery and coil. We got those from our buddy Mr. Luka C over at Luka C Productions. And I tell you, those look really, really good, and we'll see those in a minute here. But first, we want to talk more about what we did to this guy. Of course, we blended in the front end here, sort of made that a little bit of a mild custom deal. We of course stripped all the chrome, wheels, bumpers, grill work, everything, mirrors, everything got stripped, and there's no real chrome on this guy here. Anything that you see as bright work is something that we painted. Down inside, you can probably just see the horn ring from the steering wheel, and then in the interior, we did a little bit of silver Sharpie on the door cards in order to give that little bit of a contrast in there. Basically, interior is semi-gloss black with NATO black as the floor, so it makes it look more like it's a floor, like one of those vinyl floor mats, rather than an actual carpeting that's in there. We also replicated that up here on the package shelf as well. Now, originally we had planned to do a vinyl top on this dude, and that's actually still something that I'm thinking about doing, because I've been doing some research and I've been talking to Mr. Luka C about it, and he's like, dude, you can still go back and add that, no problem at all. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So that's definitely something that I want to investigate. I've never done it before, and we were in a time crunch, so practicing a new technique was not really a good idea, so I should say. And that's all because of my own time management skills being bad. so so there you go. I'm only aware of one other person, maybe a couple other guys in the community, that actually hinged the trunk lid like I did. That's Mr. Kissy Boy Smith. He did a hinge trunk lid also. We were commiserating about doing the hinges and such back and forth over Facebook. And then I'm looking forward to his video, man, because he's got some special stuff going on with his build. But in the back there, we have some crates full of some special clear liquid that the backstory is that Mr. Batson, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, will cruise the backwoods of South Carolina up and down the coast there, delivering his special clear liquids. And plenty of time to get home and be able to get up the next morning in order to go and partake in the special clear liquids. And that's right, he's delivering the holy water to all the churches in the area. And he's already made a delivery right there. There's our Optima battery in the back that we decided to move that back there because we wanted to keep the engine bay kind of on the clean side. And that's from Mr. Luka C Parts and Luka C Productions. And we added a gopher wire set. It actually has the photo etch lugs and such. And of course you can't see it because the way I have it mounted in there is tucked in and out of the way, and ta-da, you can't see it. So So there we go. Now I know that if a battery was in the trunk, it would be inside a sealed box because of the venting and all that kind of stuff and jazz. And he's running around with it's just water, so he's fine. Be okay. Should be all right. Electricity and water go fine together, right? Um, on the back side here, we also have some customized license plates from South Carolina, and they say BLK NBLU. It's black and blue, and that is a little bit of a play on the reason why this is has an extended deadline. That's right, Mr. Baxton was at the gas station practicing his breakdancing skills, and it did not go very well. So we are very glad that he's doing better and up and around and doing things, and he's got the use of all of his fingers now. I know, because his texting has gotten a lot better, I tell you what. Let's see here. On the backside, we cut off the exhaust tips and we added on some aluminum tubing. We sleeved that, and I think that looks really cool. It gives it sort of like a street racer look type of thing. The little lumps that they had back there just didn't look very, very good. The kit exhaust is actually all through the bottom of the car. Just it's all a box stock down underneath there. We just went ahead and redid those tips there, and then let's see here. Oh, the tail lenses. Those were actually chrome parts that I didn't strip, and I hit them with some transparent red, and in that black. Doesn't that look like Darth Vader coming down the hallway? So yeah, or backing down a hallway or whatever. So yeah, there we go. Which brings me to a question. I was thinking about calling this car like Darth Vader or something like that, but I've always wondered, because Darth Vader is more machine than man, do you think he makes a beeping sound when he backs up? I don't know. I look forward to your comments. But let's go around to the front here. And yes, we have a flat black hood because we were having a little bit of a paint issue on there. And I wasn't, I was like, frustration was setting in. So let's go ahead and just flat black that. And I got to tell you guys, I really like how that looks. As a matter of fact, when I was working on this, my niece had popped in to see how, where all the fancy smells were coming from. And she actually commented on it. She's like, that looks really good. And that flat black on that hood, why would that be like that? So I said, oh, that's to reduce the glare. And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's cool. They should do that for real. Okay. So there you go. So engine bay, we have the 440 under there, and we did that in a Hemi orange. That's from let's see, what's that called? That Model Master. Yeah, their lacquer paints. I still have a can of that floating around the garage. The air cleaner, you'll notice that there is no decal on the air cleaner, and that is because I am not happy with how that thing came out, and it is probably going to come off there later today and get stripped and repainted, and then we'll put the decal on there, because I thought not wasting a decal on something that's not 100% good. So we can make it gooder, and we're going to try it. Again, here's the coil. We have an Excel style coil mounted to the fender. Got that from Mr. Luka Productions as well. It was kind of a gift from him. He's like, here. He was like, what are you going to do for your coil? I'm like, I have no idea. He goes, here. I'm like, oh, okay, great, thanks. So there you go. And then the wiring, the pre-wired distributor, that's all from Parts by Parks. Let's see. So let's give it a tip. Gentling, and we'll bring it a little closer. I'm starting to have nightmares of that Cobra that I dropped. So you can see we did our best to try and smooth out the inner fenders and the firewall to just give it sort of like a nice street machine clean look. And I like that. A lot of work was taken, a lot of time was taken to try and do that up right, and then doing the grill work. And I gotta tell you guys, sometimes I get a little confused with the order of process, like what should go first when you're doing custom work. So it's like, oh, I want to see how I can get this grill blended in here. I was very excited about doing that. And then I thought, wait a second, that's all open. I'm going to need to get files and sanding sticks inside there to smooth everything out. So maybe that should wait, and we do the inner fenders of the engine bay first, and then come back and then add that in. And that worked out perfect. That's the way to do it. I don't know if I'd open the trunk on the next one I build. The way the interior tub meets up the back packaging shelf and stuff, there's not much room for hinging, but we made it work. And yeah, I got some glue on the hinge, which is why it keeps trying to fall down on us. But yeah, there we go, man. These are the kit wheels. We just didn't put the dog dish caps on there, and we did a little bit of steel in the background behind the wheels to give it sort of like a rotor look. And even though this car probably had drums. So there we go. All right, I apologize for the length of the video. We did have a lot to cover, but yeah, there's going to be some beauty shots at the end, so stay tuned for that, and then we'll see if we can't dig up some of the photos that we'd taken during the build process that caused us a lot of grief. All right, y'all, thanks again to Mr. Mark Basden and to Mr. Luka C for hosting this, and then congratulations to everyone who has finished either on time for the original due date or squeaked it in like we did at the very end here. All right, y'all, take it easy. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later on, and we'll see you again. Bye.